The 15-Point Plan is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network.
Welcome to the 15-Point Podcast. This is Chad Himes, joined today by my co-host, the easygoing Jillene Snell. Hi, Jillene.
I love that introduction. Hi.
How are you today?
Doing good. I'm so excited about our topic today.
As am I. So let's get right to it, keeping ourselves moving along with all of the topics. We're taking you through, here in Season 1, all 15 items of the 15-Point Plan. And this episode today, Jillene, we're talking about supplements, vitamins, those sort of things. Give me a general definition. What's a supplement? We all know what our Flintstone vitamins are, but
Exactly.
What is a supplement?
Well, a supplement is adding to. It's something that's going to complete or enhance something else that we might already be doing, whether it's in our diet or something we're already taking.
Okay. So supplements, they're making a fortune off selling all of these things. Talk to us a little bit about the history of supplements and, the world of vitamins.
Well, since 1999, the National Institute of Health has spent more than $2.4 billion studying vitamins and minerals.
Wait a minute. Did you just say billion? Just studying this stuff?
It's just the first billion we're going to mention today.
Wow. All right.
Yep. Well, the interesting thing is there still aren't clear answers based on the studies done. There's that much money spent, but yet there aren't clear answers about, there's not a one-size-fits-all.
Okay.
If we were to boil that down. And from all their studies, they don't come out with this website that says, here's exactly what to take and what to do every single day. That is the perfect recipe to your life.
Okay, so let's be really clear as we even get into this one, folks, we don't have the answer, right? Because nobody has the answer. I mean, I wouldn't mind being paid $2.4 billion to do some research and never give you an answer. That'd be a good deal.
Yeah, and there's another fun fact in that the vitamin and supplement industry is an $18 billion business in the U.S. as of 2020. And that just shows you how important it is to Americans. So the 2/3 of the population is taking vitamins and supplements on a day-to-day basis.
And they don't even know why, and they don't know which ones and how much most of the time because we don't have a true guideline for any of this.
They don't. And the comforting part is that people want to be healthy.
Okay.
They're seeking nutrition. I think some people realize, hey, I'm not getting it in my normal diet. Chad, you mentioned to me before this podcast, you said, hey, not everything I eat is going to give me exactly the vitamin that I'm looking for to enhance my life, right?
Right. Got to find it somewhere, so this comes into play. And it all goes back to Ben Kinney's original job at GNC, right? I think he's the whole reason, again, that the whole vitamin supplement industry has grown to the level it has because he's behind everything, isn't he?
He must be.
It must be. So, all right. So we talked in our episode about nutrition, Jillene. We talked about the different areas, the classes of nutrients. There were 6 you ran us through back then. Quickly, recap them.
Yep. The first one is carbohydrates.
We talked about it.
It's a macronutrient.
Yep.
Second is lipids and fat.
Talked about them.
Macronutrient. Third is proteins.
Talked about it.
Water.
Okay. We definitely talked about that in its own episode. And the last 2?
Last 2 are vitamins and minerals, which are micronutrients.
Well, wait a minute. You went from a macronutrient to micronutrient.
Yeah, it means we need less of them.
Okay. So there you go. Need less of them. There are 2 main kinds of vitamins, Jillene. How do we break down the vitamins to the 2 different categories of vitamins?
The first is fat-soluble vitamins, which is stored in the body's fatty tissue. And the second is water-soluble vitamins, which are not stored in the body's tissue. So it's anything that will dissolve in water. And Chad, you know a little bit more about that as well.
Well, it's just the simple definition, as you were just saying, Jillene. A water-soluble vitamin means it's going to dissolve in water, where a fat-soluble vitamin is not. It's going to be more like oil, if you think about it. So the opposite of water in that sense. Those are those fish oils that we're taking and other things like that, which we'll talk about. You're going to find these in fats in food. So for all the people out there, Jillene, who are eating a low-fat diet or non-fat diet for some reason, because that's the plan they've decided to follow, there are probably certain supplements they're going to need to be adding because they're not going to be getting it in their daily nutrition.
Exactly. A nutritionist could help with that. If you are, say, a vegan or you have a low-fat diet, they can help you counterbalance that. I think it's important to look into. With water-soluble vitamins, those are ones that are going to go through the body more quickly. And so they're ones we tend to take more of, such as B12. would be a good example.
Yeah, and we can give you the alphabet of vitamins. I mean, we absolutely could just go through it. There's vitamin A, there's vitamin B, there's vitamin C. There's more than one vitamin B. There's more than one vitamin, right? You've all heard of vitamin C because we were taking it as kids. That was the one that we all thought was the only one you ever needed to take. Drink more orange juice or eat this or whatever it was. So
Drink your milk for calcium, right?
That's right, for all those. There are lots of different vitamin categories out there. And Jillene, some of them deserve their own episode. Like some of these vitamins are so important to our lives, they probably deserve a standalone episode.
Right. And based on the research you and I have done, I think we're excited for those future episodes. And I think we're going to bring those to the audience, right?
I am. And the thing that's probably got me most excited about this is the vitamins I'm going to eliminate that I have been taking. Because I've realized some of them are like, wait a minute, this one's doing the same thing that one's doing. Or because I'm taking this one, I don't need to be taking that one as well due to my dietary intake. We're going to be running into a lot of stuff for you when it comes to your vitamins and your supplements. Yes, you don't know what to take? Sure, go get a multivitamin if that's what you really think. But Jillene, the best way to know what to take as just a base intro level to all of this stuff would be what?
I would suggest taking a test that you can get from maybe Everlywell or some other sources. I think you have a good one to recommend, Chad.
Yeah, there was a company, Routine, I've kind of been looking at a lot that'll give you the test and breakdown for you. But we should be asking our doctor for this stuff, right?
And normally, if we're doing the right thing, we're going to our doctor at least once a year for a checkup.
What? How often?
You are a man, and men tend to go to doctors less, I've found.
Especially when we get older, because there are certain tests we don't want to go for.
Exactly. So don't skip that test, Chad. And when you're there, because you're there anyway, you need to proactively ask your doctor for a couple tests. And I'm just going to go through 3 of them today, if that's okay.
Perfect.
3 of the most important ones that usually your doctor won't automatically give you, but are really important and helpful. Because instead of just grabbing something off the shelf and saying, hey, this looks like a good vitamin or mineral or supplement to take, it looks like it would benefit me.
It looks like Fred Flintstone. I should take these.
Yeah, the
right?
bottle looks great. It's a pretty color. Let's do this. And that's easy, right? It's the easy button.
Yep.
But if you just do this test at least once or every time you go to the doctor, it will make a big difference. So
and what are the specific vitamins levels we should be having the doctor test us for if we're going to just narrow it down to the basic few?
So the first thing I wanted to mention is that there's 13 essential vitamins for normal cellular function.
Oh my God.
Development and growth.
Don't worry, folks. We're not going to give you the list right now. You don't have to
Not
worry
right now.
about it.
Vitamin D is the first one. It's one of the vitamins that America is most deficient on.
I am completely fascinated by vitamin D.
I am too, partially because we live in an area that has very little sun.
Yeah, and if you've also noticed, one of the areas of the country that has one of the higher depression rates.
And that's very accurate, right? So based on where you live, your level of IUs that you need to take in a day are going to vary. But check with your doctor, look at what your levels are, and then go from there. So for me, I need to take right around 4,000 IUs per day.
Of vitamin D.
Of vitamin D. And I have a dropper, which is it absorbs into the body a lot faster.
Sure.
And so I put the liquid under my tongue in the morning, just 4 drops. It is the easy button, but I also know I need to take it based on my doctor's results and based on the geographic area that I live in.
It's interesting. And vitamin D is definitely one we're going to give its own episode to because there is so much to it. I want everyone to also hear this about it. Vitamin D, which we'll get into a lot more, is one of the vitamins that you're not getting from anywhere except the sun or a supplement. You're not eating something that you're finding vitamin D in. And I want you to all be aware of that as we talk about this one, because sometimes your vitamin D level is going to change just because it's summer versus winter. You're less likely to go outside. You're less likely to get that sunshine that you need. You might need to have a vitamin D supplement only for part of the year. And these are things we're going to dive into a lot more and talk about a lot more.
Yeah, and biohackers are religious about the fact that you have to get in the sunshine, ideally before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m. for 15 to 20 minutes per day.
Yes.
So gosh, in Washington State, we don't have 15 or 20 minutes of sunshine a day, right, Chad?
Some days we do not.
Mostly. So that in those examples, we especially need to be conscious of it.
Yes, which also goes back to the sleep episode, because by getting that vitamin D early in the morning for those 15 minutes is going to help with the circadian rhythm that we talked about. Jillene, what's the second vitamin on your top 3 list?
Yep. So ask your doctor to test you for your B12 levels.
B12.
And it's one of the
I was waiting if anybody called bingo, Jillene. Give them a second. Someone might have had bingo on the B12. All right, now tell us about it. Nobody called bingo.
I'm too young to have played bingo. But.
Oh, God.
So it's another common deficiency in the U.S. along with vitamin D. And for instance, the last time I got tested, this was one I actually found a deficiency in. I was at my level was about 227, and it should be a minimum of 500.
Yeah, don't worry about these numbers right now. We'll dive into that more when we get detailed. Jillene's just giving you her numbers because she knows the research behind it.
And so the function of B12, it's involved in the division of all cells and the maintenance of the nervous system and the immune system just to start. So it plays, a really important function in the body and is going to reduce your risk of diseases.
Do you know where most people are getting their B12?
Ideally through food.
Yeah, ideally through food, yet they're getting it probably through those 5-hour energy drinks.
That's dangerous.
Right? And
I remember Ben took those about 10 years ago.
Correct. And it doesn't matter how many times I told him, drinking 5 of them still is only 24 hours in a day. You can't do the math and get an extra hour, Jillene. We want you to get these through the food or a proper supplement, not because they're just giving you an energy boost in one of these little drinks. So, Jillene, give me the top few foods we should be eating for these before we get on to that next vitamin.
Most common foods you can get B12 from is going to be lamb, salmon, eggs, and milk products.
All right, you skipped one on the list because nobody eats it, but what is it?
Sardines.
All right, excellent. Jillene, let's keep going. What's that third one that we should talk about?
Magnesium.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about magnesium as the third one we should get tested for.
So it's, again, a deficiency in magnesium has been found to play a role in the development of numerous diseases. And what it aids in this is my favorite, actually, of all 3 that we're talking about today, because listen to this. It aids in stress reduction and muscle relaxation. Who doesn't need that? Mm-hmm. Maintaining healthy blood pressure.
Good.
Increases the number and maintenance of healthy functions in the mitochondria, which we'll talk about later.
Yes, big
and
words.
then assists vitamin D to its active form. We can find magnesium in food through dark leafy green vegetables.
Wait, tell them the next one because they'll all eat this.
I know, dark chocolate. Yes. Okay. Fewest ingredients and lowest sugar content, if I could recommend for the dark chocolate. Nuts and seeds, and then avocado. Those are the 3 main ones that you find all of us would probably eat.
Okay, so Jillene, give us those 3 again, just as we wrap this, get near the end of this, give them one more last little piece. Give me, what are those 3 main supplements that we should be looking at getting tested for?
So next time you're at the doctor, get tested for your vitamin D levels, B12, and magnesium.
All right, and we are going to dive deep into each one of these. Jillene and I have way too much research to not give them each their own episode. When I was doing some research on this, Jillene, I found a study that was published in the JAMA Internal Medicine, which has been around since 1908. They've been around a long time. They examined data from nearly 40,000 women over 19 years. Found on average, women who took supplements had an increased risk of dying compared to women who didn't take supplements. Multivitamins did little or nothing to protect against things like common cancers, cardiovascular disease, or death. Yet I would bet if I looked in everyone's cabinet, that's the one they're all taking, a multivitamin, right? The main reason that this study found what it found was that the people had poor diet and exercise, and they used supplements as a replacement, okay? What we want you to understand, folks, is we use a supplement to supplement what's missing, not we use the supplement to replace things. That's the purpose of a supplement as we're going through this.
I think that's a mic drop right there. It's not the magic pill for what we're not doing that we should be doing on a regular basis to be healthy, happy people.
Okay. There are things we want you to be careful about as well. Taking too much of certain things. Too much calcium can actually settle in your arteries. Too much vitamin D can actually harm your kidneys. And too much vitamin C, the one that we all grew up knowing everything about, can actually cause nausea, vomiting, headaches, and more. It's amazing what we can do by taking too much of something to help.
It's unlikely that a multivitamin is going to cause those things if we take it once a day for what the bottle says.
Yes.
However, if you're going to grab another bottle that's a specific vitamin and you're going to add to your multi, that's where you want to draw the line and be extra careful and work with either a doctor or a nutritionist.
Great point, Jillene. All right. How do I earn my check mark, Jillene, if I'm tracking this on the 15-point plan? How do I earn that check to say this one was done for the day to raise my levels?
As a general takeaway, it's great to start with a multivitamin and then identify what our needs are for different supplements to aid in our natural diet and lifestyle.
All right, so taking that multivitamin once a day, check. I can say I've taken my supplements and then adjust that multivitamin to becoming more specific needs for me.
Absolutely.
All right, gang, we want you to make sure you're raising the energy levels that the 15-point plan is going to provide you. We want you to come be part of our conversation. We are part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network. So join us at facebook.com/groups/Win, Make, Give, where we'll have more conversation about each of these episodes. In the meantime, don't forget to give us a rating and a review while you're here listening to the episode. And if you like what you hear, do us a favor, share it with someone else. Folks, we hope this episode ups your energy and takes you to the next level.
The opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the hosts and guests. Consult your doctor before starting any diet or exercise program.